Hello all, in this video I want to show you how to use new modifier in RayFire 1.62 called RayFire Voxels, and as you can see it voxelizing geometry, and I will use this well-known bunny model. So here's the modifier, and as you can see there are a lot of properties here, a lot of rollouts. I will try to explain all the properties. The first rollout is viewport render, and I will get back to this. I'll start with this voxels rollout, this big one. So the first group is this gizmo size, and here's this yellow gizmo of the voxels. You can move it, and as you can see, it's voxelizing all the stuff, only area inside this gizmo. So you can move it anyhow, rotate it, and as you can see, rotating gizmo also rotates the actual voxels, and scale it. All these properties also animatable, so you can create some animation. And this lock property allows you to increase the size for all axes, for width, length, and height. So if you changed it and you want to get your gizmo back, you can reset gizmo using this button. Okay, next group of properties is voxel size, and as you can see by default this is just a simple box. And again, this lock checkbox is on now, so changing this width with property, I will change all other length and height as well. But I can unlock it and start setting custom size for width, length, and height separately. So right now I will use the same value for all axes. Also there's a get from custom node and scale custom node checkboxes, but right now they're disabled, and I will get back then when I will use this enable custom node feature. So next group of properties is voxel spacing, and it allows you to create some gaps between voxels. Right now, as you can see, they're positioned very tight to each other, and increasing voxel spacing, I'm starting getting all this free distance between voxels. And again, my width, length, and height property is locked right now. Here it is. So I can set spacing only just one axis, and all these properties are animatable. Next group of properties is voxel chamfer. By default it's disabled, so here you can enable it, and as you see, it adds chamfer to your voxels, these boxes, because without chamfer it looks pretty flat, and with chamfer enabled, usually I used without auto smooth. So you can increase radius, add more segments. Anyway, with chamfer, as you can see, looks a little bit more interesting. Okay, I will disable it right now. So the next group is custom node, and this allows you to use any shape as your shape for voxel. So let's say I will create something like this. Now I can enable custom node checkbox, click this none button, and pick this geometry. And as you can see right now, instead of box voxels I have this crosses here, but since its size bigger than the voxel size before, I have this two checkboxes enabled right now. So there is two ways I can set the voxel size accordingly to this size of this geometry. And as you can see, there are not much voxels right now, but I can make size of actual geometry less and increase it. Or I can set here scale custom node. So right now I can change size like I changed it before, and change the voxel size, not changing size of actual geometry. So the one checkbox allows you to use the size of geometry, and the other checkbox allows you to define size of the voxels, custom voxel nodes using this size properties. And again, you can unlock it and change each size separately. Okay, I will disable it right now. Oh, the last thing that there's a center pivot, and right now my pivot pointer of this cross not at centers, and if you want to change the pivot point of your geometry, you can set here the center pivot point, and it might be helpful if you want to rotate your objects around its center. And next checkbox is keep mapping, because by default if I will turn off voxels and assign some material like this checker map, so by default RayFire Voxels will use mapping from the original geometry. So some voxels are white and some of them black, but if I will turn here keep mapping, I will use mapping from the original geometry. So you can use mapping from original geometry, or you can use mapping from the custom node. Just unchecking this keep mapping checkbox. Okay, next group is this material ID, and as you can see there's a shell and inside, and that means let me enable custom node, set voxel size to the same. So if I will increase spacing right now, here it is, you can see that there is voxels only near the surface of original geometry. There are no any inside voxels. And you can change this in this viewport render layout. So as you can see right now there is only shell only defined, but you can set here only inside voxels or all voxels. So right now you can see there are inside and shell voxels. So let me make the size a little bit lower, and spacing as well. And the reason is that you can define shell only, inside only, or all, is because you can create a very high amount of voxels. In most cases you just need only voxels near the surface, because all the other voxels will be invisible. So if you have gaps or maybe chamfer on, and it's not visible that there are no any inside voxels, you can set here all voxels and you will get all the voxels. But in most cases you just need only shell voxels. only voxels near the surface. So the same works. So this is what means this shell and inside. And I will set voxel spacing to 0 to assign this map again. So what this material ID allows you to do is to define the material ID to separately for inside voxels and shell voxels. They are the same, all the properties here are the same. So the first one is the closest face, which is by default on, and it actually takes material ID and mapping from the original geometry. And also you can set here fixed. To show this, I will assign this material, multi-subobject material with 4 different materials. So fixed allows you to set fixed material ID for all the voxels. Let me change colors to something more noticeable. Sorry, this spinner allows you to set fixed material ID to all voxels. Also there is a random, so it allows you to assign random material ID within a range from 1 to 99, so you can play with this and get the look you want. So you can use only from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Okay, and the last one is from custom node. It will use material ID from the custom node if you use it. And the same properties works for inside voxels. So if you want to assign some material ID only for shell voxels, and for inside voxel there should be some other material IDs, so you can do this here. And the last group is this grid size. It shows you the amount of voxels in your scene. So the first total one shows you how many voxels has this gizmo. So all the voxels inside this gizmo is about 295,000 voxels. But you see only, but this current label shows you the actual amount of voxels. Right now it's about 10,000. And if I will set here shell only to all, now I will have about 72,000 of voxels, because right now I have all the voxels inside this bunny. You can see them increasing the spacing, all of them. And again I can set here to inside only or shell only. Now I will explain this viewport render properties, and as you can see there's different group of properties for viewport and render. The first one is limit, and it's on by default. It may be helpful in case you have very small voxels and there are a lot of them. So if I will start decreasing my size, and you can see that now it doesn't show all the voxels. It's because I have limit on. So if you have a lot of voxels, very small voxels, you can limit viewport representation. And for render you still will see it, since this limit property inside render group is disabled right now. Okay, I will set size back something higher, 10. Another property is this show percents. And again, if you have a lot of voxels and you don't want to see them, all of them, you can decrease the show percent, so you still will get some shape here. You still will see what the texture looks like, but viewport will be much faster. Also, this property is animatable, so we can animate it. Next property is this tight fit checkbox. As you can see right now, it's on. When it's on, it makes voxels modifier create them only if a voxel center is inside the volume. So if you will uncheck it, you see there now I have more voxels. This is because now it creates voxels near the surface even if their center is not inside volume. So if you have some very thin areas, you can uncheck the tight fit and get more voxels. Original mesh can be used if you want to see the original geometry. So if you still need it inside the report, you can check it on. And voxels as bounding box, helpful in case you use some custom node. And viewport response in this case might be a lot slower in case your object has a lot of polygons. So you can set here voxels as bounding box, and on render you will see this crosses, but inside viewport you will see this voxel as bounding box. And the next one is this update mesh. So again, in some cases you may have a lot of voxels and changing each property will take a lot of time. And if you don't want to, if you already know which values you want to have, you can set them here, like this voxel size, make it lower, add some voxel spacing. As you can see, it doesn't update it in viewport since it's automatically checkbox is off. And you can update it manually, clicking update now, or have this automatically property on all the time. And in render group you have pretty the same properties, the same limit, and if you want to use all these properties like in viewport, you can check on this use viewport settings. But if you want to, let's say, see in viewport only show voxels, but on render you want to see all the voxels, you can set here all and set percent, let's say 50, and show in render you will see 100%, and the same for other properties. So if you want to use the same properties for rendering as in viewport, you can check on this use viewport settings, and if you want to use custom properties for rendering, you can uncheck it and set all the properties here as you want. Now let's see what you can do with this position rollout. Here I will use some other geometry to show you, just a simple box. I need to decrease its size of voxels to start to see them. Okay, something like this. Okay, now let's go to position rollout. So this 3 spinners XYZ, they defines global position offset. So if I will increase one of these properties, as you can see, all of the voxels moving in this direction. And the next properties is randomize XYZ, and right now, as you can see, Y and Z value locked to weak. So if I will increase X, I will start moving each voxel in random direction. Of course, you can animate this property and get some cool animation. Also, this value can be negative. And if I unlock this, as you can see right now they are randomized only over x-axis, so you can add some variation only over z-axis. Also, there is this effect property. Right now it's 100%, which means that this value works for 100%, but if you want to increase, let's say make this effect, randomized effect, twice bigger, you can set here 200% and play with this property as well. The next thing is this use texture map checkbox. It allows you to use some image to make all this random effect. So let's say I will set here x and y to 0. So right now I have only z-axis random direction. And let's create some noise texture. Okay, let's use this gradient ramp, maybe radial, set some noise. Okay, now you need to drag and drop this, check on this use texture map and drag and drop to this button here, instance. So as you can see right now, I don't have this completely random offset over the axis, but instead of this I can control this random direction using this gradient map. And of course, and again I can set here, play it here with this effect. So as you can see, it's set here 100%, Z50. So the area with dark color getting negative value of 50, which means it gets down at -50, and white color get positive offset. It goes over the axis upper to 50 centimeters, and the gray area, like here, it stay on the same level. It doesn't get any affection. So if I was set here, as you can see, this center of the object goes down and these borders go up. So you can see there's a little issue here. This is because I have mapping for all the sides of my box, so I can go here, assign UV map, planar, and let's say I will increase effect to 100%. Increase Z value, so it's much noticeable now. And I can animate this stuff also using this UV map gizmo. And this is just using one texture. Okay, let's keep it like this. And of course you can play here with this noise and animate all these properties here. Animate all the properties here. Or something like this. Let's make it 0 here. Okay. Next thing I want to show you is as multiplier checkbox. As you can see right now, instead of just adds this random chaos to the object, to the voxels, I am using instead this black and white image as multiplier. But if I want to use this image for this chaos, you can set here as multiplier, and as you can see, you'll again get this completely random offset over the axis, but it will be multiplied by this image. So area with black color will get 0 affection, and area with voxels with white color will get full affection. So you can play here. So see, the more it's white, the more random offset it gets, and if I will change here to black, it start getting less and less random offset. And of course this works for, I can lock here, set X to 50. So now it's completely chaos. It was shifted, each voxel shifted in all directions randomly on 50 centimeters, except the center, because here it's get black color. Increasing black, I can get less random offset. And again, all these properties are animatable. You can animate even this flex. Okay, and the next property is alternate rows. I will turn off this random. So right now, as you can see, all voxels is lined up to each other, and changing this X and Y alternating rows properties, you can offset them. So this helps you. It might be helpful in case you want to create some kind of brick effect. You can do this only in 2 directions, only in X and in Z value. So if I will change the size here, so as you can see, you can get a lot of bricks just in a moment. Can go back to the base object and change its size. And also you can animate these properties like this box height. get something like this. Okay, that's all with this position rollout. Now let's see what you can do with this rotation rollout. And again, there's the three properties X, Y, Z. All of them will rotate your voxels only one direction. And here is randomized properties. So here's my brick wall. I can add some random position offset, make it more natural. And here I will add some rotation offset. And as you can see, it's locked right now, so which means I add random rotation over X, Y, and Z axis at the same time. I can unlock it. Right now it will affect only X value. Only Z value. And again, you can use this texture map to add some variation in rotation using image. Let's use the same gradient ramp. I'll delete this bunny. So you really can create any crazy animations you want using just this few properties. Playing again with mapping here. And again, if you will set here as multiplier, it will add all this random rotation only at the borders where is a white color. Also, there's this align to face checkbox. So when it's on, I'll better to use some other geometry like the sphere. Set aside some voxels. So if you will check here align to face, you can see it rotated all the voxels along the closest face of the original geometry. Okay, now let's take a look at the last rollout is scale, and again, as you can see, it has pretty the same properties here. So this global scale checkbox, the spinner, by default it's 100. You can unlock it and change scale only over some one axis. And again, all these properties animatable. Also, there is a delete zero size checkbox. It's on by default. It means that if you will start decreasing the scale and get it set it to 0, you will actually delete all these faces from the voxels. And seen right now, you can see there's a 158,000 polygons, but if I will set here scale to 0, it's only 30 polygons right now. But if this checkbox will be off, even if I won't see any stuff in the viewport, all these polygons still will be there. So with the checkbox, it's actually does not create any of the voxels if their scale is 0. And next group is randomize. And again, you can add here scale variation. But there's a little difference. So again, you can add scale variation, and as you can see, it scale them only. Making them only lower, not bigger. So each voxel gets some random scale, but they are all less than there was at their original scale. All this thanks to this shrink only checkbox. When it's on, you will get random scale. You will make it only less. So you can uncheck it, and now you will get some voxels will be bigger, some voxels will be less. And another checkbox is uniform. As you can see right now, when I scale them, they change their scale uniformly. And if I will uncheck this uniform checkbox, they will start and shrink only. They will start get completely random scale in all possible directions. So some of them long, some of them get cube-like. So in this way you can create this animation like 0 frame, it will be, say, 200, bigger maybe. Then get back to 0. And you can combine this with this position. Again, it will be, let's say, 200 centimeters at 0 frame, and then get back to 0 value here. so you can get some interesting animation here. And the same works, the same texture map works for scale. You can check use texture map and use this gradient ramp as texture. So if you add here some scale, random scale, let's say 100. As you can see, right now it got full affection at black area. And if I will check here as multiplier, I will get completely random scale at white area and no random scale at black area. So try to play with all these properties. There are a lot of possibilities, and that's all. And last allowed is export allowed. It allows you to attach all of the voxels to separate objects if you want to simulate them later. So here is mesh per voxel checkbox. It may take some time. Okay, now I have 3610 objects and I can simulate them. Okay, thank you for watching.